Good morning. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday.
It's the 8th. It's May 8th.
Maybe that means something to someone somewhere.
That it's Friday.
Yeah.
Remember when Fridays were important?
Remember the good old days.
I haven't actually paid attention to the days of the week in like 5 years at this point. It really wasn't that big of a change. Actually, it's a bigger deal for me now because we're doing these shows.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention till days until I started doing my photography again. Then the days were very important because it was like, I don't know what any day is, but this one day in the middle of the month is someone's most important specialist wedding day. I cannot forget.
Right.
It's a Tuesday. It's never a Tuesday. It's always a weekend at least. So.
Depends on how much money they're spending.
What?
Well, we definitely looked into having our wedding on a Tuesday because it was super cheap.
We did.
It's just no one can show up because nobody else has the day off.
Right. Nobody wants to go party on a Tuesday night because they have to go to work on a Wednesday. Did we get married? We got married on a Saturday, though. We thought about Sunday because it was also cheaper, but then we got married in the backyard. So.
Right.
Peasy.
I can just hear every step Gannon takes downstairs.
Fascinating early comments this morning. I see that Kyle and Allison have landed their spaceship. Wow, my connection is all over the place. I lost my girlfriend because I'm bisexual. I got married on a Monday because it was cheap. Just really bringing it this morning, guys.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us today.
True.
I tweeted it again today, so...
Yeah, but we got told.
We
were told. Like, we got learnt this morning because we were like, hey, come join our stream. And someone was like, you're doing this wrong. We were like, that's probably true.
We got a comment saying to not post tweets for Twitch streams before they're happening, which makes sense. I'm used to doing YouTube streams, and YouTube, Twitch has its own culture and stuff, and that's cool. But I think functionally, I like YouTube's streaming page better because you can go to it before it starts streaming, and you can see that it's coming, and you can still talk to people. Yeah. And there's like a countdown if it's scheduled. You can't schedule streams here on Twitch.
No, it makes sense.
But I forget that you can't do that on Twitch, and so we post a link.
I'm streaming.
Nothing's happening
right now.
Right.
Join. Yeah, no, that makes sense. We're gonna do that from now on. That was probably solid advice. Sometimes people don't give you advice with a handful of flowers and kind words. Sometimes they scream it at you over Twitter, and honestly, doesn't make it any worse advice.
You can only scream over Twitter. They allow limited words. There's no room for flowers.
That's true. That's what emojis are for. They're gonna get to hear all my mom's conversations.
How is she gonna call this early? They usually don't start until later.
Someone died in the middle of the night.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh.
That's her job.
Right.
She does dead people.
I know.
That is she is the office administrator for the dead. The end.
That sounds like a way cooler job than it actually is.
Also, office administrator is not nearly enough of a description. She's like the CFO of the company of the dead. So there you go. L for Light just says, elaborate, Allison. It's the medical examiner's office. It's where the dead people go.
Yeah.
They die. People are like, how? They send them to my mom.
If it's anything other than natural causes.
My mom sends the dead person to the doctors. The doctors go, this how? And then she handles literally everything that isn't the doctor's work. Like contacting the patients and the doctors.
Desk necromancer.
Ooh, I like that. I'm gonna see if she wants that. Maybe like on a plaque or something in her office. They have a sick sense of humor because what else are they gonna do?
That's true.
That's pretty good though. I like that.
Yesterday we spent 7 hours filming a video. That was a lot of fun.
That's true. We did. That was fun. We have some chat things that I would like to address.
We have more things about your mom's job.
No. Dreon says, I've got a big interview in 2 hours, and I'm probably scared. I think that's probably them saying scared. That's exciting. Most people are losing their jobs, so this is a solid, exciting thing.
Yeah.
I used to have like
Good luck.
I had great interview tips. I had all the right answers because I just like went online and I just studied for forever.
I was used to be able to just walk into places and get, that those stupid stories that like your grandparents tell you where they're like, back in my day I just walked in and asked for the job and they handed it to me. She just did that with literally everything.
I'm honestly like 90% sure that like half the reason I got most of my jobs is because of excessively great eye contact and really good smiling.
I don't
Honestly,
know what
though.
you did. I remember when we first moved to San Antonio, though, you didn't have a job.
Yeah.
And we were just like, you found an opening at the bunt cake place. And we drove up, you walked in and walked back out with a job ready to go to on Monday after the weekend was over.
You drove me to the job.
I know.
And I got in the car and I said, I think I got the job. Anyway, I'm sure this will work out in your favor. If they're bringing you in, if you're already in for the interview, you're good. You're solid. Just
Probably. Just don't do anything horrible.
You have friends, you have
Don't mess
family.
up.
Do
Don't
they
mess
like
up.
you?
Don't mess
Stop,
up.
stop. If you have friends and family or anyone who's ever liked you, then there's a good chance you're gonna get this because you're gonna walk in and they're gonna see the same thing and they're gonna go, "You got the job." This advice is about 4 years old. I have not had to apply for a job in a
true.
long time, so and I don't think I can do it with the same
you might
confidence.
be rusty.
Yeah. So everyone keeps complaining that they're having network issues with our stream. Are you plugged into the Ethernet?
Yeah.
Huh. Multiple people have said that they're having issues with the stream, but they keep blaming it on their own network.
Huh.
So I don't know what that's about. I guess we'll find
Could
out.
just be them. I don't know.
Just those two.
Yeah.
Statistically, 2 out of 40 people have network issues on a Friday morning. What is that number? Do math.
Dude, what
What's
is
the
2 out of 40?
Yeah.
1 out of 20 is as low as you can get it.
So what is that percent?
I don't know. 1/20th. I can't math. It's 8 a.m. Anyway, we filmed yesterday. It was great. We did this whole setup.
We did. It was
We should have done. I wish I could have we should have taken the video that I got yesterday and put that in here.
It's
The
5%.
behind the scenes thing.
It's 5%.
Oh, okay, it's 5%. That makes sense. Thanks, Light. We got some behind the scenes on it. So normally when we're filming green screen videos, we set up in front of the green screen and we just film it and then I figure it out later. That tends to be how we do it.
You're such a nerd about this kind of stuff.
So are they. That's why they're here.
No, they're here for my impeccably good looks and my feminist rants.
Yes.
Obviously.
That is what drew them here. The feminist rants.
Clearly. This is what the people want. I know it's not. Just can't stop.
But yeah, so normally like we'll do a whole green screen setup. We'll put me in a costume. We'll film me in front of it, and then I'll find stock footage or generate some kind of 3D background or something, and try and make it match the lighting and the perspective, and then stick it behind me.
That's like the most classic
And-
way to do it, though, right?
Yeah, and it comes out okay. We've done videos like this with the White Lightning Agent one with me and Weeble was entirely 3D environment in the background, but I made it up after we filmed it. And then the one with you and the ARC video always comes to mind too.
Yeah.
That was a whole process.
That was wild.
And that was like-
you made us record that with you were like, sit like you're straddling a dinosaur.
Right.
And I'm like, oh yes, this position I often find myself in.
And I say it confidently enough that they think I have a plan, but all I'm thinking in my head is I'll put a dinosaur-shaped object somewhere, and I need them to vaguely look like they're sitting on a
I
dinosaur.
was so confused in the making of this video because you were like, okay, wear matching outfits, talk like a confused Amazonian woman, sit like you're on a dinosaur. Also, here's a weapon. And then later I came back and he is taking pictures of small pink plastic
The toy
dinosaurs. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll see it when I'm done. Someone
Yep.
says, do you like Dr. Phil?
This is a different conversation. Hold on, I'm
Yes.
going to finish my thing first.
I just had to answer. We can talk about it
That's
later.
fair, yeah.
But
Anyway, this time we did it differently. I went in with
but also no.
a stand. I got the 3D model first. I paid for a fully textured, very detailed 3D spaceship model. I got a mannequin, basically a digital mannequin of a person, and I set up all the shots beforehand. and then we used OBS while filming to overlay the green screen footage on top of the backgrounds and actually get a live preview of what the finished scene looked like, so that Allison could change the camera angle, change the actual physical lighting, and do all this stuff to make it match.
Yeah.
So we ended up spending like a full 7-hour workday yesterday on just doing that the entire time. And that's coming out next Tuesday, and I'm excited.
This seems wholly unfair. The stream skipped over where everyone was talking about my feminist rants, and now I can't. I can barely read them. What do they say?
The comments don't exist. You can't see
Bring
them.
out the feminist X. That's fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it was really interesting being able to film that because you were already in the green screen setting. So it's just like
it was really
matching
cool.
you.
We've never done that before because you could actually you could watch the scene on the
It
screen.
was like
as
moving
it's
a little
supposed to be.
doll of you around,
Right.
like a set.
And so we were able to get like really wide shots of me like off in the distance, like actually standing because we could get the perspective right, so my feet look right on the ground. It was pretty cool. I'm excited to share the behind the scenes footage and also to finish the video and see how it turns out.
I'm missing more. We're the chat is just dying.
Really, everybody's internet is terrible, including ours.
All right. Maybe you need to log into it. Or maybe we should use the Twitch app.
Sure.
Log
You're
into
gonna download a Twitch app?
I already have it.
Oh. Well, then why are we not using it?
Because I forgot my login. Here, you log in.
I don't know ours either.
Oh my gosh.
It's randomly generated.
Nobody say anything. We'll miss it. Read off there for now.
Okay.
Read faster.
Dylan mentioned we had the green screen up yesterday. Yes, that's true. We did have we do not the bookshelves. These are actual bookshelves. This is not a green screen.
This is wrong. This
we just
is
had
incorrect.
the green screen set up yesterday so that we could start filming right after we were done. Orange says, "Wait, the ARC video had green screen." yeah, it did. Actually, for a lot of game stuff, we'll end up just using background footage or from the game to put behind us. So the City Skylines video, which is why Paradox contacted us about making this one, actually is all real except that we just put green screen in the windows. My nose is very stopped up today, and you can hear it in every word that I say. And then we put like the city, like the skylines from each game out in the background.
That's right. I forgot what it was. I'm remembering
So
now.
we've had lots of experience with green screen at this point, and now I'm trying to learn Blender and 3D rendering and CGI and stuff. So we're practicing that more. We're doing a new take on the entirely 3D set with this video, and then we're doing a Animal Crossing video next, where we're gonna mostly shoot real footage and then track in 3D objects. So we have one of each for practice.
Talk about Dr. Phil
And
now.
that's it. Dr. Phil. Allison, at one point, decided she was going to start watching Dr. Phil, and she never stopped.
It's true. I watched it for like it was just sort of showed up, and they have like these really catchy headlines, like woman has bad false fake panic attack on stage, or something, or it's always something like
I really hope the title was, in fact, woman has bad false fake panic attack on stage.
I don't remember. They're usually really dramatic, so I click on them, and then by like halfway through, I'm like so angry that Dr. Phil has like a platform to just make fun of people. And then like in a year into watching it, ironically, I had to admit to myself that I was no longer watching it. Ironically, because it's been a year. But I still don't like Dr. Phil, and everything he says is mostly garbage. And he's also not qualified to give any of the advice that he gives.
No, not at all.
He's been out of practice since 2006. The only thing he's legally allowed to do is be an entertainer who gives advice, because he has given up all of his qualifications for psychology.
Right.
He's just some dude with a show, and people are like, Dr. Phil's the best out there, but he just is.
You just enjoy trash TV, though. You just
I
legitimately enjoy
love it
watching
so
trash. Like, knowing that it's
much.
trash, you like watching trash.
I love it. I think it's the greatest. I don't even know why.
I've started to develop a little bit of a taste for it through you and Ian.
It's something about like. So the editing is always hilarious, right? Like, you know exactly what the editors are doing.
Today's episode ends in Survivor Talk. Anyway, keep going.
Hey! Something about the editing is always really hilarious. And, like, to get into the mindset of these people I think that's what gets me. Is like, who goes on these shows?
This ain't happening still.
I know! What's going on?
Pull up on your phone.
They are happening. It just seems like 3 hours after someone says it.
Old Titans asked if I would make a Black Pants videos on the new videos. I definitely want to.
Am I supposed to bring it up on my phone?
That's my favorite part of them.
Like on Chrome or
that, or there's also a Twitch app on the phone. Technically,
I didn't get it though. You bring it up on your phone.
I don't know if I have a Twitch app on my phone either.
We're completely unqualified to be doing this.
Well, if it would just work the way it was supposed to. Do you know your password?
Yes.
Log in on my phone. But yeah, no. We started watching like different, like the Netflix reality shows that have been coming out more. And
So
I never watched reality TV ever. It was not something that I was remotely interested in. It reminded me of the most boring of weekday afternoons because there was nothing else happening. I still have trouble watching. Like I couldn't watch like Storage Wars or the
Storage Wars is
Pawn
awful.
Stars or whatever or anything like that. Those
the
midday
Pawn Stars
ones.
one.
They just make me feel like I'm not accomplishing anything in life by
think
watching them.
I think it needs a level of like gullible to really enjoy those shows because like a part of me thinks that they could be real, and I think that's what it is.
Raisenberg says, as someone from another country, can you explain? It's gone. Can you explain Dr. Phil to me in a way I would understand?
Yes. People come on to Dr. Phil, they write into Dr. Phil with legitimate concerns about something in their life. Things like, my dad has beat me my entire life, or my husband's a drug addict.
And so naturally, they decide to go on a live audience talk show
where they
to discuss these sensitive
openly
issues.
their sensitive issues. Dr. Phil proceeds to make a mockery of both people. Like, were you a victim? Mocked.
The only one who wins
Were you
is
the
Dr.
abuser?
Phil.
Mocked. And then at the end of it offers some attempt at advice, but never once has ever solved anyone's problem. The only solution he himself offers is this thing called camp, which people make fun of him for.
Right.
Because the ranch.
The ranch.
He sends him to the ranch for like small kids. And people have talked about actually having gone to his ranch. I read a whole like Reddit AMA thing on it, and it's essentially prison. But it's not like and I kind of feel like there's room for this one, like of all things, but like people will be like, I'm just too poor to get out of my horrible situation where I'm constantly surrounded by abuse and drugs and all of these terrible things. And Dr. Phil's like, have you thought about looking at it different? And she's like, no, I need money. He's like, well, we don't have any of that. No money for you. No job prospect. He does nothing to help anyone.
No.
And then, but yeah, the ranch. No, I read a whole AMA about people that go to the ranch. And specifically, like, the ranch, it just is like it's like a juvie replacement, right? He sends people there before they commit terrible crimes to, like, whip them into good shape. And it's like, you know, they, like, move rocks all day so that they learn discipline and how to behave and not to be a crappy kid, and then they come back and they're usually better for it. That's what the guy said anyway, but he didn't shy away from saying like it's prison, but before prison.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's the ranch. Why is none of our chats working?
Affiliation with this ranch?
I'm pretty sure it's his.
Like he owns it?
Yeah, I think he made it. Yeah, I mean he's not like he ever goes there, but just like he made it as like a program to help troubled teens. I mean, these teens are really troubled. They're like, I tried to stab my sister. Or, you know, there was one where he had this dude who was literally in a gang on his show.
Oren says he did an interview. Yeah, I think it's actually updating. I think it's updating, but I think also our stream is being problematic today. I would suggest restarting it if we weren't already 25 minutes into it.
I don't understand. It's... the only thing lagging on our end is chat. Maybe it's Twitch. Maybe Twitch is having some issues.
Maybe. Just gotta keep going. Sorry to everybody who's having problems. I'm not exactly sure what to do right now.
Oren says he did interview a murderer once. Boy, that was an awkward episode. He does do things like that.
Yeah, they're not uninteresting.
He occasionally just has like sparkling diamond episodes. Like there's one where he interviewed a man who was accused of murdering his wife, who has regularly like said that he didn't do it. and he called back the producer and confessed. And that was the first time he had ever confessed. So Dr. Phil will always forever use that as like, I once got a murderer to confess on the show. And it's like, well, okay, I mean...
kind of.
He does things. He's not an inactive person on the show. It's just like, his advice is not something you can legally accept. His money is not something he willingly offers. The show is there to have the audience laugh at you anyway, especially if you're mentally ill. But
so I think starting to see you watch Dr. Phil and Judge Judy was like my first regular dose of
Judge Judy is phenomenal.
Of like reality shows.
That's true.
And I wouldn't really consider those reality shows in the traditional sense either. They're more just like daytime fluff TV. But I was always very against any kind of reality shows. I was like, reality shows are trash. There's not anything redeeming out of them. It's not worth watching.
I think there are redeeming-ish things.
And I see the value in them now. I've seen enough to mostly change my mind. I think 99% of them are still garbage, but I think there is a way to do them good.
You have to have,
and I've seen people do them very well.
You have to have an affinity for trash, though. Like you have to know good trash from bad trash.
See, I
didn't.
Trash. You helped pick out the interesting stuff so that I could
like Ian.
Yeah.
Ian and I are the raccoons of of reality TV.
So the one that got me was Survivor.
Wait,
I'm not going to get into it yet.
Okay.
I'm just teasing.
All right.
Later in the second half of the episode, I will get into my thoughts on Survivor because that's the one that sold me on reality TV being something that could be good. But what else have we watched aside from that? There's things like Great British Baking Show is one
that's
that you
a really good
watch
one.
all the time.
Yeah.
And I ended up appreciating that one because there just isn't drama. It's just people cooking.
Yeah, that's a good one. I love that
one. That's what
one.
I want all cooking shows to be.
I agree. And there's Gordon Ramsay, who has 2 pieces of bread on someone's head and says, say you're an idiot sandwich, and then she does. So...
what else? What are some of your other ones that you... how about the new Netflix ones? How do you feel about those?
So there was Love is Blind, which was... I'm really not one for, like, romance reality.
Like dating shows?
No, because I can't... I like reality shows that have, like, real people on them. And the thing about, like, those shows, like the Love is Blind and whatever other garbage thing we watched...
Yeah.
They, like, the goal is to get, like, the most unrelatable people ever. Like, both men and women that have just been, like,
true.
Botoxed up to the very, like, top level. And then, like, the makeup that they wear. Like, they're just not people I've ever run into in real life. I know they exist, but they're, like, influencers and, like, social media experts. And, like, the whole goal is, like, I was super excited for Love is Blind. My biggest complaint was that they were all attractive, so the risk wasn't there.
You know what it feels like? It's like when you're making a D&D party and every single person goes, well, I don't want to just make an average character, so you end up with this entire party full of, like
completely OP, like...
Well, not just OP, just weird freak show standouts that wouldn't find each other for any reason. It's like only the most unrelatable, uncommon people possible all in one group. And that's your reality TV show cast.
The other thing I've watched, I grew up watching America's Next Top Model, which you obviously haven't seen. I haven't watched since. Because mostly I know that it's a problem. Like, it's a problem. Like, you go back and you watch America's Next Top Model, and it is, like, racist. And it's homophobic.
These kinds of problems.
It's such a problem. There's one episode where Tyra Banks makes a chick fill in her tooth gap because it's hideous. But the whole show is about getting on people who are supposed to be, like, unique looking.
Yeah.
So that you can, teach them how to be beautiful. And then, like, 10 seasons later, she makes another person get a tooth gap. And it's like, you're ruining things for everyone, Tyra Banks. Anyway, I haven't really watched a lot of other reality TV shows. It's mostly Dr. Phil, Judge Judy, Love is Blind, Great British Bake Off.
Well, and there's the...
Skin Wars.
I guess there's different categories, right? There's, like, the dating shows, there's, like, the competition shows.
Yeah.
Competition shows I'm
Did you log into your own account?
No, you logged in on my phone.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
Remember doing that a few minutes ago.
Yeah. We should refer back to chat for a little bit, and then we can go to the weather. So Panther Hardrad says, "Hey guys, since you live in Texas, how do you feel about the salon woman being arrested and then released?"
I saw that comment, but I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either.
Yeah, I have not heard this news story. I don't know what's going on outside these walls.
Yeah, we try to avoid the news too. Feel free to fill us in. I'm curious.
I'll believe you because I'm not going to go look it up.
Murdoch says, I love Dr. Phil, but I still can't call it trash TV because it's a guilty pleasure. No, that's what makes it a guilty pleasure.
Right,
it's that it's garbage.
Yeah.
But enjoy it because
like I enjoy
do.
consuming garbage.
You just have to be careful about who you tell because some people are really upset. And you're like, I watch Dr. Phil. You know what I won't watch? The View. And I'm not sure I can even be friends with people who watch The View.
Definitely is a little
Hard
bit
lines.
because these are like daytime talk shows, which are definitely like it's not reality television. It's a different genre, but it's still trash TV. Right? They're both like
here. Move your Discord. The reason that we have like only 47 viewers is because everyone keeps leaving because the stream is lagging so bad, so they're all going to tune in later.
Oh,
which is fine.
Yeah.
It happens.
Thank you to anybody who can't stick around. Again, we'd restart if we weren't halfway through it, but it's just something that happens.
Let's see what else.
I may just need to like schedule in regular like.
Old Titans pretty much summed this up. They said, I have the New York Times on my phone and I keep opening it up to look for something to read because it's a habit, and then I remember all the stories are the world falling apart, and then I close it again. And that is spot on. That is completely accurate to me and my life. And also I undownloaded Twitter and pretty much anything else that decides to tell me news because I'm scared.
That's fair. There's better things to do.
Dr. Stephen Dragoon. I love all the new names in chat.
Yeah.
This is very exciting.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Where did you come from? I refuse to watch reality TV. It's all people fighting over Instagram followers. That is the worst parts of reality TV are the Instagram, are the people who want to be Insta famous.
Yeah.
Because then nothing they do is genuine. Everything they do is for views. I want genuinely trash people. Not just like people who are pretending to be a certain way so that they can get Instagram. That's not reality TV.
That was definitely watching we watched a couple episodes of The Bachelor or something at one point. My main thing was it was like I can't get invested in this show when I know they're all that's what it is. They if they act like they're not on a show,
right?
It's weird. They're like, I'm here to find true love, and I'm like, no, you're not. Like, just I would enjoy this contest more if you just admitted you were in a contest, which also leads me into Survivor. But
no, we're not there yet. Wait, we still have more comments. We're almost caught up in the comments.
Okay,
then and I know people love Matt. So
all right.
I just saw something. I was going to say I have found that the worst reality TV shows are the ones with the prettiest people. Because they're trying to be actors.
Right.
And that's not, go watch Tiger King. Those are the people I want in my reality TV shows. People who are really like that. The problem with reality TV is the editing and how they
Doug
force
Dynasty.
people. Yes. Ursa Polaris says, I just found that show a little bit boring, but the people were top notch. So my husband just joined here for the first time, and he's going off about how much he relates to Allison and likes her trash TV choices. You should hit up me and Ian. There's nothing else to do. Your husband can sit down on a computer. Me and Ian can sit on a computer. We can just watch trash shows all day long. Dranon says, a well-off hair salon owner opened during quarantine was arrested for going against lockdown orders and was sentenced to 4 days in prison.
Oh.
If there's a lockdown order, don't open your store.
Yeah. Even when your state stupidly removes that lockdown order, still don't open your store, but definitely don't when it's illegal.
I mean,
that'll happen.
I'm like, you can open your store because it's technically legal and good ideas are not the same. So, the end. But if it's literally illegal to open up your place of business and bring people in so that they can all get sick and die and kill other people, don't.
So Fluffy Play-Doh chat gifted 2 subs to people in the chat. He gifted 4 subs.
He gave 1 to Major Asshole.
So thank you.
Why isn't Major Asshole subscribed?
Yeah.
What a rude thing. Well, okay, yeah. All right. How is the weather?
How is the weather? Wait, there's 2 highlighted messages. Did you read them?
No.
They spent their bits on them.
Look up Shelley Luther. Can we get an Allison and Ian trash marathon stream?
That'd be pretty great.
So excited. Rachel actually also loves trash TV.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know why we're leaving her out of this.
Because Ian verbally approves of my trash TV in front of other people. Rachel does not, but I know she watches it, so maybe that's a great idea, actually. Bro, I love trash. So good. Delicious trash.
Let's get Matt's take on...
Time for something that's not trash. Our weather segment.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt.
Where's my full screen button? Discord. For real. My full screen button is gone.
What?
It's not letting me full screen the Discord.
It's not there.
How am I... technology, you're failing us today.
Hang up and do it again.
Okay.
That fixes most Discord problems. Oh no!
Wait,
Oh,
it worked.
okay,
it worked.
okay. All right, whew.
Kind
All right,
of.
time
Yep.
for the weather now.
There we are. There's a Matt. Look at that Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Hi. What's up?
How's your Friday?
Terrible so far.
Oh,
What's
what happened? Mostly also bad. Yeah. What? Isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, not really.
So, how's the weather?
Yeah, how you doing? How's it feel? Yeah. It's
You look like you
pretty
live in
dark.
a jungle from a lot of angles. Like, just everything is trees forever. And then you get up close and you can tell they're Texas trees, and you're like, oh.
Matt, are you getting bored with the weather yet? Does the weather still excite you every day?
This isn't your passion, Matt?
This is why we hired you, because this is your passion
They
in
can't
life,
hear
right?
Matt.
Oh yeah, Matt's audio is low. Sorry about that, guys.
I don't like the weather. I hate the weather. I don't like anything about the outside. Don't like you guys very much.
That's fair at this point.
I like this version of Matt. Hey, Matt, what's up?
I hate it all.
You want to hang out and hate things?
Yes.
Hell yeah. The sky's looking kind of pretty, though, not gonna lie.
Well, it was not pretty, and then it was pretty. It's
Hey.
I don't know.
That's a
It's
pretty
a mar-
solid,
it's-
like, God descending from the heavens sunrise there.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just my perspective that makes me think it looks like just garbage right now. I don't know. Hey,
Well,
a
maybe
bad
next
day,
week
you
we'll
guys.
switch you over to our to a different kind of correspondent. We'll make you our I don't know, something else. We'll figure it out.
I'm really into this.
I'm just in a mood. Check back in on Monday. We'll see.
Moody Matt is currently my favorite Matt.
Don't let me make any harsh decisions right now.
What are you staring at that feels threatened enough to make that noise?
Crackles.
Mm.
You see him?
Sure.
There's
yeah.
only one today.
I'm gonna imagine that they're in that tree.
You can
Oh,
see
there
it.
it is. What are you doing to him?
Because
Quit
it's very
harassing the
upset
birds,
because
Matt.
it thinks that it owns these two trees because their babies
Matt.
are in there, and
PETA
so
is
they're
watching.
like, hey, don't stand under my tree. That's where my baby is at. I also might have ran over one of their babies with a lawnmower. It was already dead, but that probably didn't make me a good guy in their eyes.
I can hear PETA. I can hear them coming forward. I can hear it. So
Bring him on. Bring
so
it
is
on,
like,
Peter.
Is it like a hot day or like a cold day or?
It is a temperate. It's a mid-70s kind of. Even in direct sun, it's not too hot. But again, at 8 a.m., how can you tell? It'll probably be very hot later today. If you want to go outside and get sweaty, you can do that.
Matt, the audience would like to know what your favorite reality trash TV show is.
Does Ghost Adventures count?
Oh
That
Yeah.
doesn't count. No, that doesn't
No,
count.
that definitely
because
counts.
No, because that's not trash. That's not trash. I know. I get the spirit of the question, and that's not the spirit of the question.
I mean, subjective.
I think we don't.
No,
I think we
it's
have our answer.
objective. It's objective.
This is how, you're doing it right because this is how all people feel about their trash TV. Exactly the way that you feel about Ghost Adventures.
No, because sometimes you watch trash TV specifically because it is trash and it's like junk food.
Yeah.
Ghost Adventures is not junk food. It's like, Sistine
I've
Chapel,
seen I've seen
something
it.
like that. Like a masterpiece.
I mean, it might be like the
but you
talkies of
didn't
trash
get
TV,
it.
but
You didn't get it. Is the problem?
that might be true. Yeah.
I gotta coach you through the first episode, and then you can see why it's the perfect.
So how are the
television
allergies?
program.
I know what I'm making Matt do next.
The allergies are. I can't tell if I'm just dehydrated or if my throat is closing up because of this evil outside. But it doesn't look good. Oh, my eye's itchy. Yep. Okay. Allergies are here.
All right, good. Solid. I don't know what I would do if they weren't here. I haven't not blown my nose 20 times a day in months.
It's kind of, you'd miss them for a little bit, like an abusive relationship.
I'd be fine with no allergies for the rest of my life.
It's a controversial stream today. Bird murder, abusive allergies.
Thanks for joining us, Matt.
Matt, you
Shut
absolutely
up.
killed it. Thank you for trying.
Shut up.
Hope you have a good weekend.
Shut up.
All right, that was Matt, everybody.
He's really a gem.
I have ideas.
All right, don't tell the people.
I
We can
won't.
discuss later.
I may have already revealed it, but I will talk
Well,
about
you
it
heard
with
the
Matt
man.
later.
The weather is temperate, the allergies are here, and his favorite trash TV show is Ghost Adventures.
And everything is terrible.
We know that because that is how you feel about your trash. Like, you feel compassionate about your trash TV show. Also, growing up, I watched Wipeout, which was pretty good. It wasn't reality, though. It was just sort of like game show. But the whole point of it was to watch people just eat it, like, constantly. You had to get through a
Wipeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we did.
An
I liked
obstacle-
Wipeout.
Well, Wipeout was cute. You had to get through an obstacle course that's designed to punch you.
That was probably my first actual trash. Me reading.
it wasn't
Me, my brother, and my dad all
trash.
watched that one. Actually,
Nobody was bad on it, so it's not like really
Well,
trash.
it was okay. So the shows that I like are the ones that know what they are
Move Discord.
and just let themselves be that
Yeah.
without trying to ham it up. Because there's also this cooking show called Nailed It on Netflix that I don't like.
Yeah.
Because their writing style is like, all of this is pointless. Isn't that hilarious? And that's the entire show.
There's
And it's like, why are you? I'm trying to watch. Why are you making me feel bad about watching your show?
I believe there was one show where the premise was almost good, but really the best way to watch the show is in like special clips
Yeah.
of the most funny examples. But I think it was called Blackout. And the show is where they put people in a completely pitch black room.
Okay.
And then they have to like do challenges. And one of them was they had to walk across a plank, but because they didn't know what was beneath it, that was like the horrifying part. So they had to walk across this little tiny like balance beam.
Okay.
And you watch it with like the night vision cameras. And
Saw-vision.
It's literally, yeah. And it's literally just a board on the ground. But you see people like cowering in fear and like crawling on all floors across it.
Reminds me of the VR game.
It was pretty funny. But really only just the clips. I haven't watched the whole show because I don't think it's a good enough premise for an entire show.
Right,
You only have like
yeah.
so many good gags before people catch on that nothing dangerous is happening because liability.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's kind of what it is. It's like it needs to be something that just kind of owns what it is, doesn't pretend to be more real than it is, and also doesn't rub it in that it's stupid. I guess just like they all, a lot of them feel too forced, and that's when they get cringy, and I don't want to watch them.
Yeah, for sure.
And there are ones that I don't like that are still in that category that I can kind of respect. Like, we tried RuPaul's Drag Race because that's Ian's favorite.
That was rough. That was rough for us.
I could not get into RuPaul's Drag Race.
Because they don't feel like people.
But, right, no, because it feels like television produced by aliens.
Yeah, it was very strange.
But it owns whatever it is, it owns it. So I can
Right.
at least respect it for that.
I know multiple drag queens in real life, and then I went and I watched RuPaul's Drag Race, and I was like, I see it. I see like if you take the people I know and you just sort of like crank the slider all the way up like in Sims, and then put them on a reality TV show with other people like that,
Yeah.
then sure. But also it was really hard because the first challenge that we saw them do was a photography challenge where they had to like spin on a platform wearing a trash bag with paint thrown at them.
Right.
And the photo quality of the images that were produced were so like, just get a real photographer on the show. It looks like they took them with iPhones. And then we're like, this photo isn't good. And I'm like, that's because the person who took it was bad. All of these photos were going to be amazing.
Right.
And it just took me out. It took me out. That's all. It's just a weird show.
And then there was the one part where they dressed up as zombies and just walked around the courtyard moaning for some reason for like way too long.
The challenges are weird. They don't actually prove anything.
No, there's no logic to the contest.
I think that's what it is like all the people that go on RuPaul's Drag Race are already talented. They're already amazing drag queens. So what are you testing? They already know what they're doing, and they're doing it so well. So like, what are you trying to find out?
Yeah, I don't know what it's very strange.
I just don't know what the competition point is. They're all so good. But, like, on America's Next Top Model, they just, like, pull off random 18-year-olds off the road and are like, you're kind of cute, be on this show.
Oh, that's weird.
You're right.
I don't know anything about this show.
I mean, no, it's not. They auditioned, but...
I guess the most classic one that probably most people have seen are things like American Idol and the other one. The
Voice.
Blank's Got Talent. Britain's Got Talent or Britain's Got Talent. The Voice is also new. The singing ones are performance ones where you go up on stage, you get a yes or a no, and you move on to the next round, right?
Right.
Like that's the most base level competitive reality show.
Yeah. I watched America's Next Top Idol, American Idol. I watched.
Yeah.
I watched.
They're
American,
all the same
I
show.
watched American Idol growing up pretty religiously.
We
with
did
my
too,
family.
actually. There was a few years where that was like everybody watched it when it came
so
out.
Good. But really, what we watched was
The Survivor.
Survivor. We watched that religiously for a long time. But before you get into that, I want to go over comments again.
Fine. We got limited time. This is
My
this
husband,
is a big conversation.
Ursa says my husband's favorite reality show is Project Runway.
Okay, I saw you showed me a little bit of that one.
That is some highbrow reality
that one actually
TV.
seemed
that
pretty
one's
decent.
quality.
That was a decent like just a competition reality show.
All right, now you're up for Survivor.
Okay, so the way that I started changing my mind on reality TV, and it's not fair because Survivor is like the best of them.
It really is.
But I really didn't know much about any shows, and Allison talked about having watched Survivor as a kid with your family,
Yeah.
And said that I would like it, and I was like, in my head, I was like, okay, but that doesn't sound interesting because it's just, I mean, it's reality shows, right? It's just the same kind of, it's like pretty people acting like they're in peril for television. It's all fake.
Don't worry, I showed him the right season first.
Have like I don't know, like in my head it was like this is all just some big stupid show with a bunch of obnoxious people that I don't want to watch. If you've never seen it before, the biggest takeaway that I got from it that I can share is it's all real, and I didn't know that going in. It's not faked. They're not like they're not secretly getting food and like pampered off screen or anything. It is actually people showing up, being dumped on an island. There is camera crew there, but they're not allowed to interact other than filming them.
True.
And I think technically they have to give them things so that they don't die. But only because they've done several seasons where they've gotten people in some actual severe trouble and realized they had to legally supply them with things that like sunscreen so they don't get skin cancer.
Yeah, they have to give you sunscreen because there were a few seasons where they didn't. And that was a problem.
The second reason that it works so well is because it's a game. They know it's a game and they treat it like a game.
Right.
The point is to be the last one on the island through any means necessary and win the money.
We should watch Survivor again, dude.
And it's literally any means necessary. They let you do anything, and it's incredible.
Somebody said their orthodontist was on Survivor, Wandering Wig Malari.
That's interesting.
We haven't watched all the seasons.
Curious to know. Yeah, we've been picking out individual because there's
name drop.
There's like 35 seasons or something, and we've watched like 3, 4,
Phoenix
maybe.
Rising says, except it's a jungle in Australia, not on an island. I think it depends on the season.
It depends on the season. There are several on islands. There's ones in the first one we watched was in Africa somewhere. They put them all over the place. The original seasons were on islands.
A lot of them were on islands. They
probably
probably run out of
islands.
islands. The show's been running for like 30 years.
Yeah, they did 2 seasons a year for 15 to 20 years at this point.
They had to get permissions from locals, and I think they had to offer up. Well, so there was a lot of controversy because I don't think they offered anything to the islands, and so people were like, people got angry because they were just sort of like
because in the later
island.
seasons they start working in like
no, in the earlier seasons they actually do a lot more like go to the actual like tribes people of the islands they're in. But then I think later they got popular enough that they were like, we're moving here to this island, deal with it. And people were upset that they were just sort of infringing on islanders' places.
Pufflemaster says, can they do murder? I don't think they technically can, but it's like this close.
Right, so the season I started him on was like, it was super early. So they were way nicer to the contestants. Right. They brought them to an entire actual...
By super early, we mean season 16. because it
I don't
was
think it was season 16.
the one we started with was 16. That was the one with.
Oh, that was no. I'm talking about the one with Rupert.
That was season like 3
8.
or something, or 8 maybe somewhere
That's early.
pre-10. Yeah.
Yeah. But they took them to a fishing
The
village.
pirate season.
Where they were able to trade things to get things, which means they started off the show with things, which
Yeah.
they don't do very often anymore. But like,
Every season is a little bit different too, which is
Right.
kind of cool.
anyway, in this one, one of the guys decides to take. Everyone left their shoes on the boat so that they could run around because it was timed. So he decided to take all the shoes of the opposing team and sell them for things for his own
He just
team.
sold the shoes.
And I
And they were all like,
I would
he's
have
not allowed to
loved-
do that.
I
And
would
they're
have
like-
loved to have been a camera operator on this show. Because you're just watching and you're like, they have to like really do some training because so many times you'll be like, is that breaking the rules? And I look at another person, they're like, don't look at me. And you're like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything then because there are no rules.
Right.
Other
So
than
basically,
probably, like,
for anybody who hasn't actually
don't
seen
murder.
the show, the basic structure is they get like, I don't know, like 30 different people. They get split into 2 tribes.
Basic, yeah.
You're stuck in a camp where you have to fend for yourself. You're left with like, they give you some, again, all of these can be modified. These are all variables that can change by season. But generally, they end up with like a bag of rice or something at the start. And like maybe some equipment for building a shelter, maybe.
Yeah.
And every like
You're so excited
3
about this.
days
It's
or
so
so,
cute.
it's a really fun show. Every 3 days or so, they have some kind of challenge where they have like an obstacle course set up or like something where the teams have to run it,
Mm-hmm.
and the winner gets either something for their camp or they have challenges where they win immunity because at the end of those days, the losing tribe has to go to tribal council where they have to then vote somebody off.
Just go watch Survivor, dude. It's
It's
great.
required. Like they have to vote someone off, even if everybody loves each other, someone has to be removed.
Old Titan says, can they use the camera operators as spies? No. The camera operators follow everyone
They aren't
everywhere
there.
for anything except for going to the bathroom where the contestants have to actively tell the camera operator to not follow them because they're going to the bathroom. And they have to go alone, meaning they cannot take
Right.
other people because then the camera operator is like, we're going with you.
But-
But they can't interact with them, they can't talk to them, they can't do any kind of
I remember watching the
involvement.
first season though, and by the end of it, like the mind game politics everyone is playing with each other, like legitimately was like a Game of Thrones level. Like you didn't know who was gonna go by the end of the episode
No.
because
Well-
everyone's playing each other, everyone's turning on each other.
So Oren just said, I think they just aren't allowed in a perimeter around each other's camps. Also not true.
That's not. Nope, they've wandered into each other's camps before too.
It's one of the best ones. Like,
There was
there's that. Wait, you know that Vine clip where it's just like you hear that like weird like high pitched like violin noise, like off key violin, like, "Ee," and it's just like someone who's like, "Hey guys," and then there's just that dramatic like reality music show.
Oh,
you know
right,
you know
yeah.
the
Yeah.
noise I'm talking about. That's what it reminded me of in Survivor when that one guy wandered into the other camp on accident,
Right.
and everyone just like turns and glares, and he's
Cowboy.
just like, "Hey everybody."
I'm legitimately. I have
They
had
looked like
this
they were gonna
idea-
eat him.
I've had a video idea for a while that's like Survivor as a character study too, because you just end up with like all these really interesting people put in situations where they're forced to make really hard black and white decisions, and it just
cute show.
defines who they are really hard.
It's a good show. I haven't watched a lot of the newer seasons.
But yeah,
I don't know
there's
if they're good.
one of my favorite examples of just like inventing a new rule or a new loophole is they have you can find immunity idols hidden around the island. They've like left objects, and if you find it and you have it on you, and somebody tries to vote you off, you can be like, no, I got the thing. You can't vote me off. You can use it to like block a vote. And so another mechanic is that sometimes at the end of a challenge, one team is forced to exile somebody from the other team, so they have to go spend an entire day on like a separate area of the island by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they did that to this guy Bob, who is a science teacher.
Bob is
and is my
big.
favorite person from Survivor so far. And most people, while they're out on exile, they just try to like conserve energy as much as possible because they don't have food, they don't have shelter, they don't have anything. They just have to sit there. Bob took a different approach. He walked around the entire island, found stuff in the jungle, and built an immunity idol, and convinced everyone that he had it.
That's
even
pretty good.
To the point where when somebody tried to vote him off and he revealed the thing that he had, the host was like, "This looks like one of our idols. Like this looks
So
like something
good.
we would have made on the show." And they like the show producers knew he was doing it, but
Yeah.
they didn't stop him.
There
like
are
he
no
was.
rules.
Yeah, there are no rules.
We have a lot of recommendations. Dreon says Hell's Kitchen is better. I do like Hell's Kitchen. Kyle does not.
I don't remember which one that is.
That's the one
cooking
where
shows all blend together in my head.
It's the Gordon Ramsay cooking show where he gets like professional chefs in, and that's the idiot sandwich one.
Okay. Oh gosh, that's the one where he. Yeah. Okay. The one where he Gordon Ramsay's.
Pufflemaster requests people watch Hunted. It's a show where people have to run from some hunters who can access CCTV and stuff and try to track
I swear
their
I saw-
fugitives, who are the people who signed up for the show. That's fascinating.
I think
You know what's really good?
I saw a clip of something like this before. I don't know if it was like a Cody Co video where he was reviewing it or something.
Bro,
but-
one of my favorite like feminist quality TV shows is Naked and Afraid. So good. They get two people.
Is that still on? I remember
Yeah.
that being
I don't
announced
know.
back in the day.
I don't know if it's still on, but they get two people. They're naked. They have to meet up in the middle of a jungle with like they're both driven to a location where they then have to strip in front of each other and not act like weird creepos because they're on TV. And then they go out into the middle of a freaking jungle and just have to survive. They get nothing. They don't get sunscreen. They don't get I don't know how long they have to last. Maybe they just go until they can't. But you would not believe the amount of like sexism that like seeps into the show where the man shows up and is like, I don't think she's gonna make it 2 days, and like feels like they have to do all this thing, overexert themselves in an attempt to prove how masculine and survival they are, and then the woman just outlasts them by being like, I haven't had to do anything in 3 days. Man's over here like, I hunted a squirrel, and she's like, well, I've been drinking water for the last 3 days, have you? And he's like, no, I feel weak and tired. And she's like, would you like some water then? I love those shows. Naked and Afraid is so good.
Dylan says Doormonster Survivor sketch. I don't know why I haven't actually thought of that yet.
Nobody watches Survivor anymore. It's
That's
really
true.
not.
It's not a.
It's
not a hot topic.
very throwback. Like
That would be a great format for something. Like if we were doing like a game. I don't know, like a.
Okay.
Like what am I like? Don't Starve or something in Survivor style would be pretty fun.
yeah, that would be fun. I think we just throw all of Doormonster on an abandoned island and see what happens.
Just to actually film Survivor for real.
Yeah. Someone said, nothing but Noodle says, I also hate to tell you this, but the idiot sandwich thing was a skit for like a morning show. No, it's in the clip, like in the actual show. Well, I don't know, actually. Gordon Ramsay I haven't actually seen that episode, but Gordon Ramsay grabs 2 pieces of bread and he puts their faces between them.
I've seen the clip, yeah.
I've
But
heard people
maybe
make
it was
fun
like
of it.
exclusively filmed as maybe
I
it was
cannot
intended to be comedic.
imagine Gordon Ramsay doing that, going on a sketch show
You can't.
and do no.
I mean, the whole like, it's an act. Like the way
It
that
is
he
an
does.
act, but he doesn't
the
do
thing
like
is,
sketches. He's not on like SNL.
If it was a morning show, it probably was just like, here's a comedic bit to play on the show or something, less than like an intentional, this is a comedy sketch.
I'm gonna go look this up, but if I'm right, nothing happens. I'm just right, and then I know it deep down in my soul. But yeah, no, Hell's Kitchen is fine. I'm trying to think of.
Anyway,
someone
I would
said
say
Naked and Afraid was rebranded. So
Oh, okay. If you're not a fan of reality shows, I would still recommend giving a season of Survivor a try, because to me what is the word? It rises above reality shows. It's kind of its own category.
okay,
It's like a reality show and a game show, but like, I don't know. It just kind of stands apart as its own thing. I would recommend trying it out. I highly recommend
I have so many
season
things.
16 on Hulu if you have access. It's a good one to start with.
someone says Allison, Ursa. Ursa says, Allison, you and my husband are TV soulmates. He agrees and loves your take on Naked and Afraid. He ranted your exact points before your rant came through.
Nice.
It's always good to meet like-minded people out in
Yeah.
the wild. It's like, so what's interesting is none of these shows are nearly as good as anyone makes it out to be. It's so much fun because you have to watch those shows for the gem, and then you have to tell other people about the moments that you really love, because
That's true.
the best shows aren't the ones that are like full of drama. They're the ones that you see things and you're like, people are like this. This is amazing.
This is another part of the reason why I like Survivor, though, is because the editors are on point. They edit it into a story. Like, again, like Survivor exists as entertainment, and they know
Yeah.
it, and they fully embrace every single part of it.
Think about how much of Survivor is recorded and not shown.
Yeah, no, they record everything for, what is it, like 39 days or something?
Yes.
It's a very long time.
Yes.
And the editors do a very good job of cutting it into like an actual, like, it feels like you're watching television with characters much more than most of the other reality shows, where it feels like you're just kind of watching dumb people's vlogs cut together.
Yeah.
It feels much more similar to an actual like narrative arc.
We definitely
in a weird
know
way.
your favorite reality show.
I mean, yes, that is that is 100% mine.
Survivor is really
I was also
good.
watching the whole time, going like, "Wow, this is Lost. Just ripped this entire show off."
I actually
to start with.
I stopped watching American Idol because I thought that the practice of the show was really immoral. Interesting enough,
How so?
So the reason I have a bigger issue with the morality of American Idol than I do with Dr. Phil, because Dr. Phil, people know what they're getting into. They've seen it. Like, it's right there. Stupid people go on the show to
Sure.
get made fun of because they think Dr. Phil, who's unqualified, is going to fix their problems. And if you're not stupid, then you genuinely need help, and you're doing it wrong. American Idol, like the people who are bad singers, they have to go through a series of auditions where they're falsely told that they're good till they make it to the judge, only for the judges to tell them they're awful. But they've been told the whole time. Like, they purposefully filter in bad singers for the purpose of good TV, and they lie to them the whole way to get them
Yeah,
there.
that's a good
So
point.
multiple people, like, the reactions that they have are usually so extreme because they've been told and been processed through like 5 other auditions before they get to that one, only to be humiliated on TV for that sole purpose after being told that they were good. That's what's really frustrating.
I never actually thought about that, but
I
yeah.
know multiple friends who've applied for American Idol, and they had to go through there's 3 auditions before you ever get to like the producers, and then the producers
there's
send
so many
you to the
stages.
judges. And you have to get all the way through. But yeah, just the thought that like people go on there actually like wanting to be talented and show it off, and like people are like, oh yeah, you're so good, only to then go like, hey, we're gonna ruin them on TV. it just gets me wrong. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
I think that's probably why that show fell out of favor, is just because people got tired of like watching the
Yeah.
the crappy people be.
All right, we got to do a wake up call.
Who?
That's a good question. Call my mom,
Also, but she's downstairs.
but she won't come on the show.
Do you want to call your mom?
No, she knows now. It would have worked if you had just agreed, but you didn't. You
Sorry.
gave away the secret. You ruined everything, and now the surprise is gone. We'll never be able to do it because they always know. Thanks. But we're out of friends, aren't we?
Well, John and JP never answered. We can try them again.
John will never answer. We could try JP.
I can try
Jeffrey
JP one more
answered that
time.
one time, right?
He did, yeah.
Call your mom. Your mom is sweet. Call HEB. See if they're just like
Call
hanging out.
HEB.
Call your dad.
These are all just recent phone calls. This is my contacts list.
Call your mom.
Why my mom?
I love your mom.
I guess I can.
Do it.
Should I?
I don't know. What do the people want?
I don't know. What
You have the-
You guys vote. We got my mom, JP, or John.
John's not gonna answer.
John's probably not gonna answer.
John sleeps till noon.
He does.
What are people saying? Oh, we were supposed to do a show and tell today. It's Friday.
It is Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yeah, call her.
All right, fine.
Tell her happy early Mother's Day.
I don't know if she's gonna answer,
We'll do show and tell on
or
Monday.
she's going to appreciate being live.
She won't.
Hello.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
I apologize in advance. We're currently live on our show.
No, you can't do that.
We do this.
Not allowed.
We do this thing called Wake Up Call, where we call somebody at the end of the show. And it's Mother's Day this weekend, so our chat requested that I call you.
Well, they're going to be disappointed.
No.
I'm not going to be very entertaining.
I strongly disagree. I already think you've been very entertaining, actually. That was beautiful. No, you can't do that. That was a perfect reaction. That was amazing.
How are you guys doing in
I'm
quarantine?
doing okay. Last night wasn't a great night. I actually had some really crazy bad dreams that you were in.
Oh.
Those are the worst. I also had like a week of bad dreams lately. I don't know what's going on. And then my mom had some too.
I think it's just the anxiety of it all. Yeah.
Yeah. Seems to be going around.
Kyle is fine, like always.
I'm doing okay.
Kyle is thriving.
Good.
Doing amazing, sleeping well, being productive. Rude.
Yeah.
Well, we are trying to be. We were just about to leash the dogs up and go walk the neighborhood. It's already getting hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been harder and harder to go outside, which I guess is good because we're not supposed to for the most part.
Everyone is trying to say hello to your mom.
Yeah, we have lots of people in chat are saying hi to you.
Very excited. Probably one of our most specialist guests.
Hello, everybody.
But yeah, what are you guys planning on doing there for Mother's Day?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh.
I don't know what we're supposed to do.
I don't know.
What
You're
can we do?
not having like a special like an at-home lunch or anything. Like
No.
a family
No.
meal.
We could stop by and just sort of wave through the window. Sad.
Yeah, we could do
Face
that.
presses.
Y'all could come stand in the driveway.
I have
Not
presents
against
to
it.
drop off for you. We're gonna swing by and drop things off at least.
Okay, well, then you have to stay for a little bit and chat
Okay.
Okay. That sounds nice.
from a distance.
All right. Well, thank you for answering. I'll call you right back after we end the show.
Okay,
All
bye.
right. Bye. All right. There we
You
go.
poor thing. I could tell that hurt. We cannot read the chat messages.
Oh right, that's on my phone. Are they still gonna be there?
That was sweet. That was the best. Your mom is amazing.
Reset. The chat was closed.
It's really important for me to describe your mom.
Sure, go for it.
Kyle's mother is exactly like Snow White. Like
Yeah, that's fair.
she's just like the sweetest, kindest person who has never spoken poorly of anyone. Like I will show up at her house raging about someone somewhere. And she'll give me like something. She'll be like, "Oh yeah, I've always thought that person seemed a little off." And I'm like, "Thank you. Like give me an inch and I'll run away with it." It's but she's
That's
just
like the worst she says about anything.
Yes, truly. And
Yeah.
she also speaks to animals, or animals speak to her. I don't know
That
which
does
one
happen.
happens first, but
We've gone to the zoo with her before, and she just gets close to cages, and they just like move in closer
so
to her.
weird. I remember when we were first dating, and they were like, "You should bring Allison to the zoo." We went to the zoo, and your mom walked up to a cage of monkeys, and was like, she just like looks at him and just like does like this
Yeah.
finger thing, and the monkeys come like forward.
She's actually just a druid.
Yeah,
She's just
super
a D&D
weird.
druid.
I'm just standing there like, your mom is a Disney princess, and you're like, I never really thought about it that way. As you turn to a cage full of birds and wave, and they all come flocking towards Kyle.
I am half druid.
It's crazy. It's crazy to watch you guys interact with animals. They just speak to you. They do. I see it. You have like, you make
Yeah.
this face that she makes when she talks to animals, and then the animals make it back, and I'm like, what's happening? Zoos are wild
Yeah.
with you guys.
Right.
They're just a total trip. You get to see them all up close because they just come forward to go talk to Kyle and his mother. But all right, we'll have to do the show and tell on Monday.
Yep. Next week we're probably gonna be doing a new show schedule. Actually,
We have
reformatting a little
segments.
over the weekend.
for the next weekend
Yeah.
or week. So some of them won't be in practice for a while. We have to get some props in. But we have some new things that we're introducing. It'll function more like Monday we do this thing, Tuesday we do this thing, Wednesday we do this thing. But
Should
also
be like a regular steady schedule, except with like a alternative segment for each day of the week.
yeah, and there's gonna be more structure to the individual episodes, so that we don't sometimes have like 8 news articles we go through, and then sometimes just talk about Survivor for an hour.
And then sometimes just babble incoherently because we have nothing to talk about and are super tired.
Right. we're gonna add a little bit of structure, give this something that people can like tune into and know what they're gonna get into. And yeah. Allison
And
is fake.
I'm
Kyle is
remember to
half-druid, it's
upload
true.
these to the YouTube channel at some point. So
You haven't been uploading them?
no, I've been busy. I keep forgetting.
You are the only busy person in the middle of quarantine.
I know.
I have literally nothing to do.
I haven't been busy for a year. It took a worldwide pandemic to finally give me things to do.
All right.
Somehow. Who has the interview again?
Drayon, I think.
Drayon, good luck on your interview. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Their anxiety is high. If this helps at all, people interview all the time. The person interviewing you, just so many interviews. There's nothing you're going to do that's going to be the craziest or the worst thing. Like, you're going to go in, you're going to have a perfectly fine interview, and they're probably going to hire you. That's just statistically the most likely option. So
that's most likely why she gets all the jobs. It's because she just doesn't actually act like she's in an interview.
You're never going to be the worst person anyone's interviewed. It's always going to be somebody else. It's just never going to be that bad.
That's true. If you're worried about it, you're not the worst one.
Well said. Let's go.
Yep. Thanks for joining. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.